Have you ever wondered what could happen if our darkest secrets were brought to light? This is what I'm about to tell you. On a quiet November night, a small town called Riverside was celebrating its annual Festival of Lights. Decorations filled the streets, and children ran between the stalls, holding glowing balloons. It seemed like nothing could disturb this joyful evening, but the sky had other plans. At exactly midnight, the weather took a sudden turn. A strange rumbling sound echoed from the horizon, as if nature itself was groaning. At first, everyone thought it was just a strong storm, but when all the lights suddenly went out and the winds began to blow unnaturally, fear crept into their hearts. Amid the chaos, a massive explosion was heard coming from the nearby forest. Some rushed to find out what had happened, while others chose to stay in their homes, locking doors and windows. What they didn't know was that the explosion wasn't natural. It was the beginning of a series of disasters. Emergency teams reported a leak of an unknown chemical substance from a secret research facility located in the forest. This substance wasn't just toxic, it triggered bizarre changes in the surrounding environment. Plants began to grow excessively and unnaturally, while the animals in the area became aggressive and deformed. By morning, Riverside had become an isolated town. The roads leading to it were flooded due to unprecedented heavy rains, and the bridges had collapsed, making entry or exit impossible. The sky remained perpetually dark, as if night had decided never to leave the town. The government dispatched rescue teams and specialists to try to contain the disaster, but what they encountered was beyond anything they had imagined. The chemical substance had begun to affect humans as well, with those exposed to it directly experiencing severe hallucinations and aggressive behavior. Amid the chaos, a small group of townsfolk emerged, determined to survive. Their leader, John, a firefighter trained to handle disasters, decided that the only way out was to reach the old train station, which was rumored to still be partially operational. The journey was fraught with danger. Along the way, they encountered strange creatures such as wolves with glowing red eyes and sharp fangs, as well as townspeople who had transformed into inhuman entities. Despite the odds, they were resolute in their mission to survive. When they reached the train station, they discovered that the explosion wasn't an accidental incident, but the result of a secret scientific experiment conducted by a major corporation called Nugenics. The company had been working on developing a substance capable of altering genes, but the experiment had spiraled out of control. Here, John and his companions realized that the only solution was to destroy the entire facility. They managed to leak information about the disaster to the press, forcing the government to send in military forces to handle the situation. After a long and painful struggle, the facility was destroyed, and the leak was finally contained. Despite the end of the disaster, Riverside was never the same again. The town became abandoned, and the survivors moved to other cities, carrying with them unhealed scars and memories etched deeply in their hearts. As for John, he decided to document the town's story in a book titled The Black Storm, to tell the world about a man-made catastrophe and how greed can sometimes lead to irreparable destruction. Do you think this was a coincidence? Or is the truth deeper than we imagine?